Hey everybody, welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites and hopefully add all kinds of amazing games to your backlog or your wish list wherever you keep these things sprawled about. And my goodness, these lists are getting longer and longer these days, I'd argue. We're going to go pneumatics. I am back here with some Project Lazarus, one of the best, cheaper than $2 purchases I have made on Steam in quite some time. This game has been wonderful. This is one of those roguelite survival games that have been recently popularized by vampire survivors. And I'm having a ball with it. I strongly recommend this one. I want to thank everybody for pointing out the error of my ways in the last attempt at the desert. You see, I actually evolved the weapon, but differently in this game compared to something like Vampire Survivors. When you evolve a weapon in Project Lazarus, it creates a point on the map where you have to go and actually pick up the weapon evolution in order for it to be activated. And, well, I didn't do that last time. And that's not going to happen this time. The other thing that we've proven here is that only the top weapons in the mech can be evolved. So my goal today is to have a win in the desert, and the way we're going to do that is by evolving as many of the top level weapons as we can, and that's going to be our goal, and to have a good time doing it, right? That's always the sub goal to everything. So that is not hard to do, by the way, with this game. This game is a great time and has been a real joy to play so far. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. We've got the flamethrower. I really like the laser blaster, so we'll grab that as well. And now I've got, you know, really my staple weapons here: the laser, the flamer, and the machine gun. That's going to help quite a bit. So the other thing that's cool about this desert area is that there's a lot of areas to pick up some helpful buffs along the way, whether it's Cavarium that you're going to use for, let's go Cosmic Guardian, for meta progression upgrades in the armory menu, or you know, things that are going to boost you during your run. There's a lot of stuff hanging out around here. All right. I was glad to hear from Rod that I'm not the only one that thinks the magnet could use some work, make it a little bit beefier for us. We'll go with that damage system next time, because that's going to be important in this run. You know, I think we're going to put one in the machine gun again. Okay, we'll grab this green, and then we're going to go hunting around for some treasures. All right. I want to thank everybody, too, for the support. The channel is seeing a lot of growth. We're having a lot of great people show up in the comments, and I just love to see that. It makes this an even more fun adventure when you can share it with cool people. So really appreciate that. If you're new here, thanks for being here with us. Would love to earn the right to your subscription and have you join our community. of rogue enthusiasts. Now, it's in the contract that I will fill your wish list, though. So just know that going into this, that if you do sub, I will be doing that. You're going to see some great games here. And if I'm playing them on the channel, you know, usually I'm playing them because I like them. You know, I don't really do reviews, you know. For a time I thought about doing reviews, but then I just thought, you know, I think I'd rather take the approach of if I'm playing the game and you're seeing it here, it's because I like the game. You know, and I think anything you see on the channel is a game that I'd recommend. Unless I know more about your taste, and I know something that you're not into, then that might change it. But you know, from a high level standpoint, I'd say, you know, we're taking that helicopter view. You see it on the channel, it's something I recommend because I've had a good time with it. That's why rather than calling these Let's Plays, I call them Let's Enjoys. Goats out there just, you know, starting a new trend. Got the Let's Enjoy series. How about it? Anyway, this is another one of those games I recommend. I had somebody write in and they said, boy, you know, if I could just get these types of games on the Switch, it'd be great. And I'm with you. These would make excellent mobile games to play through. And, you know, I get that it's hard enough being an indie dev and giving your game attention. You know, part of the decision to put it on other hardware has got to come down to the success of the game. You know, because it's extra work they're putting in, of course. It's got to be worth it. I get that. Okay. Let's go with the laser blaster. You know, one of the games that I'd really like to see come to console is Noida. Noida is just it's such an experience to be had, and I really hope that more people will be able to experience the joy of playing that game. And I know many people have you know, gotten to enjoy it on PC, but there's so many console-only players out there that, you know, I hope one day we'll get to experience the joy of Noida, because that's really what it is. That's the right way to describe it. It's a joy to play it. We're going to go Siege Cannon, and now we're full up as well as far as our weapons go. So now we've just got to work on doing some upgrades over time and evolving these weapons. Then from there, you know, we'll get our win, in theory, right? That's how that works. Evolve all the weapons, get a win, guaranteed. All right. I was just hanging out with my wife for a little bit. She is working her way through Slay the Spire. And when I say she's putting the work in, I mean, she really is. This is not somebody that's been a lifetime gamer, but just appreciates a great strategy game like Slay. And we got her... She finished Dicey Dungeons first, which, if you've played that game, my goodness, you know, it starts out all fun and games, and then you open up characters like the Witch, and that game really starts to show itself for what it is, right? So she got through Dicey all the way, legit, completed it. And then moved on to Slay, and got through Slay with all the characters, and is now, you know, at a point where she's trying to do the thing. And spoilers, I guess, if you don't want to have this spoiled for you, just skip ahead like 10 seconds or so. But, you know, now she's at a point where she's trying to get the true ending, where, you know, you have to pick up the 3 gems along the way in order to have access to the 4th act, which is the secret. And I saw her fight the Dark Heart, and, you know, she took down a chunk of health, you know, like a good 300 points of health, but it's got 750, and you're taking a point of damage every time you play a card. That's one of the heart's abilities. It's a tough battle, and so she didn't come out with a win, but she just immediately jumped back on the horse with the Silent. That's the character she's playing as, and decided, you know what, I need to build a poison deck. And I was telling her, you know, your deck is getting a little too chunky at 28 cards. You know, try and build something that has 20 cards per se, you know, and be a little bit more strict with what you take. And so, you know, she's very determined. I know she's going to get a win out of it eventually. And then from there, you know, I don't know what game to recommend to her. I mean, Dicey and Slay are kind of the best of their kind. There is Monster Train, you know. I mean, it's a nice game too. I don't know how she's gonna like the lane system, because that's a little bit different. And if I'm being honest, I don't always like lane systems in my roguelike deck builders. I think Inscription is the one I really gave a big pass to. That game, that's just such a wild and wonderful adventure. If you haven't played Inscription and you like deck builders, and you're okay with some light, well, it's subjective. I was going to say light horror elements, but it is subjective. I get that. Then you might want to take a look at some Inscription. Just a wonderful, unique game. I really couldn't think of anything to closely compare it to. All right, so this is going okay overall. I'm pretty happy with this, especially if we can keep grabbing some greens along the way. Helps with the level ups. And we're, you know, on our way to continual upgrades of the upper deck weapons, which will help lead to the evolutions. All right, I'm gonna grab the magnet just because there's a lot of gems on the ground, and maybe this thing will do something. We'll grab it and we'll move back to the right. So I would imagine that's where it's gonna pull from. Okay. So that was pretty stinky that time. I don't know what drives the magnet one way or the other in terms of its capability to really scoop the gems up. That's all right. I am joined today by my esteemed colleague, Cup of Coffee, and you know, I've got a really nice cup today. This is another cup from Hansa Roasters. They're out of Northern Illinois, and they do ship nationwide. I shared a link to Hansa in the last video in case you're interested. The last Project Lazarus video. I should qualify that a little bit more, but this has notes of strawberry and raspberry, and to borrow from Rod, you know, I agree with him that the more fruity notes are less subjective, meaning that, you know, they're going to show up more often on your taste buds. So it's a really great cup. Enjoying it quite a bit. I was supposed to run out to one of our local places and grab a cup for me and for my wife, and Just got a late start. So she got back and she said, "Well, what do you mean you didn't go?" And I said, "Well, it's all right. It's all right. I'll make you a cup of coffee." And so I made her the same roast that I'm drinking. Of course, I had to put some milk and sugar in there. She doesn't drink it black. Apparently, I didn't put enough in because I have what I think should be enough. But it's let's just borrow that word again. It's subjective, and a little bit of a disagreement as far as the amount that should be added. So she made that awesome "what the hell have I just put in my mouth" face upon trying it, and that was epic. I enjoyed that quite a bit. But that's cool, hey, everybody likes their cup differently. I am an equal opportunity cup enthusiast, but I like mine a certain way too. And it doesn't involve having some coffee with my milk. Let's say it like that, right? So anyway, you know what? We need some more armor. We've lost some armor here. But I also want to grab this pile of gems. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna head out there and see if we can't come across some armor so that we don't start losing health, because that's what's about to happen next. All right. Eventually, we're gonna get to guys that are dropping greens and even reds, and the reds are, that's like turbo experience points. We'll go Tesla coil. We're getting close. 2 more on the Tesla, and we're gonna have an evolution. And what I can tell you is that it's awesome. So hopefully we see that happen. If you're jumping around in the video and you happen to miss the beginning, this is Project Lazarus. You can find it on Steam in early access, and I think this will cost you $1.39 US, something like that. Plus tax, right? Okay. All right, well, we're a little surrounded at the moment, so we're gonna just go around here and, of course, kill all the guys that are trying to push and get in. And good news, looks like there's a piece of armor sitting right there as well, so we'll grab that once these guys are down. At least I thought there was some armor over there. There it is. Did we scoop it up? We did. All right, good. So, grab these. Wonderful. I watched somebody feed Phil last night. We were out at a birthday party during the day for my nephew. He turned 3. It was wonderful, and of course, my brother-in-law was working the grill, and there were burgers and Polish sausage, and he appreciates a good char, right? And the type of flavor that brings to meat. And so it was a char-filled day, and that's a wonderful thing. I know we can all agree on that. But we got back, and even though I'd really like to watch some Stranger Things or the last episode of The Boys, it's a little bit too late to pop something like that on, because shows I really like, I want to really pay attention to. And so instead we popped on an episode of Somebody Feed Phil. And if you're not familiar with this show, this is Phil Rosenthal of Everybody Loves Raymond fame. And basically, you know, I think Phil kind of wrote that show based on his life quite a bit. And I would argue that Phil is very much Ray Romano's character. So anyway, this show is one where he goes out around, you know, many different parts of the world, and he samples cuisine and meets really cool people, and he's got to be one of the happiest people on the planet. So you know, if you're not having such a good day or good week, I totally recommend popping on Phil. He's just got a way of making people feel good watching him. But anyway, I watched an episode last night, and they were in Helsinki. You know, we happen to have a really awesome community member, Meisuko, who hails from the Finlands. And I got to tell you something. Now I really want to go there. And we talk a lot about coffee on the channel, right? And so he's touring this market, and they go to this cheesemaker, and the cheesemaker says, "Hey, you know what we do out here?" Because he's got a cup of coffee with him. She says, "You know, we take the cheese and we dip the cheese in the coffee." Right? And Phil is looking at this woman like, you know, like she just came to Earth from another planet, and is telling him, you know, "Oh, you got to dip your cheese in the coffee." But, you know, when in Rome, right? So Phil, of course, makes good on the advice, and turns out he loves it. It just works. Now, I didn't catch what kind of cheese they were dipping, but, you know, the gal was like, "Look, there's some saltiness in this cheese. It's going to go really nice with it." And then, you know, so he tries it. He ends up loving it, and he goes back for another dip, another piece of cheese, and another dip into the coffee. And yeah, you know, you just gotta love Phil Rosenthal. Just a wonderful show. So check that out if you're looking for something to watch. He's excellent. Okay, so we just popped the emergency shield, which is not great. Let's say that. If you haven't seen this game before, this mech in particular, this is Lazarus. When you lose all your health, you pop an emergency shield. It's a one-timer, so they're, you know, basically giving you one last chance. And so what we really need to do right now is go and grab armor and health. Oh boy. Okay, well, here's our evolution to the Thor weapon, which I hope we will get. But now they're really turning up the heat. Oh boy. I'm gonna do everything I can to stay alive, but this is gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie here. I maybe should have went with the med kit, but I like to try not to do that when I can avoid it. Just don't know if it's gonna be avoidable. All right, this is not advisable, but I'm letting it ride here. I'm gonna go with that. Okay, we're gonna go with the emergency kit this time, and I'm gonna do damage again. We're gonna do damage again, so that's upgraded all the way now. And when these guys are running in on us, it's gonna pay dividends, in theory. But we gotta go up there, and there we go. Okay. We're gonna go siege cannon. We're gonna start building that up. Got 45 health. We'll go siege cannon again. I've got to grab these reds. They're just so valuable. Siege cannon. And the greens, I mean, they're all really good. Maybe we should just do that. So there's a bunch more greens and reds on the ground. We'll go siege cannon again. And then we're going to run up and try and grab this Thor upgrade. I'll go... I guess I'll go siege cannon again. Oh, now we're going to really get attacked here. Uh-oh. This may not end well. Alright, we're going to do that. A little bit more armor plating, and I'm going to run towards the evolution. We're just going to hope for the best. Hope it's not too far away as well. Ooh, that'd be a nice thing to grab on the way. Wonderful. So you just never lose hope. I am going to go back there in that same direction because I know there's reds on the ground. Come on, give us that evolution. Speaking of reds, wow. Perfect. Okay, so we've got the Thor. We've got fancy lasers firing out of all sides now, constantly, by the way. Get the siege cannon again. These hot reds. Ooh, evolution of the anti-matter guardian. Okay, let's grab these along the way, especially the reds and the greens. Like it's Christmas in July, right? Oh, goodness. Okay, so we got the big guy now. We're going to go pneumatics, actually. We're going to start shooting at this guy while grabbing the reds, of course. We never let the reds go. Never. We should be able to hold this guy back a little bit just by shooting him. That seems to slow him down. Okay, so we're going to stand here and hope to God that the big guy doesn't get too close. Oh, he's coming, but we're almost there. Tremendous. Okay, we did it. So the spinners are even better now. Let's see if we can get another evolution. Just got to keep aiming at this guy, though. Okay, there's the tactical nuke. Let's see if we can make this happen. I think we might have time. Now, if we kill the big guy, which I'm totally fine if this happens, it's going to count as a win. But let's see if we can get this evolution here. I don't think we'll be getting the siege cannon this time, but we did get it strong. I'll take it. The Guardian's fantastic, speaking of something being strong. Okay. I'm gonna have to grab a sip here in a moment. Oh, he's getting close. You just stay back there, buddy. Stay back there, stay back there. Okay, here we go. Tactical nuke. Now they're basically dropping all the time. Buddy, you just stay back there. Keep you at bay. Yeah, I think if you shoot him, it pushes him back. Or it's enough to hold him in place. Either way. He advances a lot less, it seems like, if you're, you know, pointing all you have at him. And the orbiting globes we have are allowing me to just, you know, kind of go in whatever direction I want while continually aiming at him. That's great. We're going into the 25-minute mark here. which is just phenomenal. Hey, there it is. There it is, folks. How about it? How about it? Take a quick sip here. Cheers to you. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, new high score. Let's see, who was the hero here? Well, the chem tank. To the shock and awe of nobody. The level 10 chem tank just putting in the work. Wow. Machine gun showing up well. Flamethrower showing up well. Laser blaster showing up well. Fantastic. All right. 235 DPS on the chem tank. Hey, everybody, that's where I'm going to cut this one. Next time, we are absolutely going to take a dip here into the Arctic Glacier and see what we can see. Who knows? What could go wrong, right? I guess we'll find out. Like I say, if you're new here again, thanks for being here with us. If you made it through the whole video, you're a champion. Appreciate the support. And like I said, love to earn your subscription. Keep hanging out with us on the regular. I play a ton of these types of games. We're going to keep playing Project Lazarus for a bit before we move on, because I'm having a ball with this game. And yeah, then we'll get into some new stuff probably next week. So you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll catch you next time on the Goat Force Gaming channel. Take care.